Hello there, or as I say it in my world, the SillyLand. Harezol. What is the SillyLand? Well, let's start from the beginning. The very beginning. It all started in Canada, when I was still a little boy with very little homework, yet a very big imagination. Like the builders construct their buildings brick by brick, my imagination was creating a world of its own bit by bit. It started as a very peaceful, colorful, full of fun world that I called the SillyLand. In the SillyLand, there are tons and tons of places. Two of my favorites are Laughter Bafter and Candy Town. The instant you set foot on Laughter Bafter, you start laughing badly. And over there, there are countless hilarious things that make you laugh harder and harder until you're laughing your lungs out. Here's what you would look like if you go there. Then there's Candy Town, where everything is made out of candies and all sorts of confections. Everything over there is edible and delicious, including your house, the street, the sidewalk, even your stinky underwear. Oops, excuse me. Even your stinky underwear is mouth-watering over there. And teachers, if your students misbehave and are naughty, I'm telling you, they taste pretty good. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. My personal favorite place, however, is Monster Zone, which I would rather not tell you about because it's a bit too disturbing. But what I will tell you is that since I'm the master of the SillyLand, I've got castles everywhere. And my largest and most spectacular palace is the one in Monster Zone. I think my phone's vibrating. It is, in the middle of a talk. Hello? Guy, how? Gosh, kapay down. Shashkankom. Would somebody please open the door? Thank you. So I'd like to introduce to you some sillies or SillyLanders. Here to my left is Elfie, the eleph's captain. Elephs are the silly elephants, but thankfully they are not endangered as real elephants are. Over to my right, however, is Bug, one of the SillyLand's most famous insects, the filcules. As you can see, he is a bit ugly, but he's sweet once you get to know him. Here, have a closer look. Right in front of me, however, coming up the step, is a SillyLand zombie, a Swampian, by the name of Swampo. Swampians are the SillyLand's slowest creatures, and Swampo is the slowest of them all. However, Swampy's identical twin brother is the fastest Swampian, although he's still pretty slow. Now that you've met some sillies or SillyLanders, I guess it's time to say goodbye, for I have a talk to finish. My roof, kauhaf kathachfifumush, pow pow. Now, Bug, roof. Bug sure can bug me sometimes. Now that was a glimpse of what my SillyLand looks like. Back to my life in Canada, one day my parents announced that we were returning to Lebanon. For me, that was a dream come true. I was so excited. I'll finally be able to see my aunts, uncles, cousins. My whole family lives in Lebanon. I'll even be able to start having sleepovers and guess what, guys? I was actually 100% right. Life was incredible. Everything was perfect in Lebanon for the first few weeks until school started and I started attending grade 1 in Wellspring Learning Community. Here came the shock. From fun homework in kindergarten in Canada to endless homework in grade 1 in Wellspring. A load I wasn't used to caused the gap to be huge. My school days would start at 6 in the morning and wouldn't end till 8 o'clock at night. I would spend my whole afternoon writing, and everyone who knows me knows how much I despise writing. So my days were hectic, unbearable, and my life became miserable. The stress was eating at me. It was even trying to gobble up my imagination, my SillyLand. I mean, what am I without that? But thankfully, the SillyLand was strong enough to defeat it. It offered me a refuge, a place to go to take a break from my misery. So there I was, many times a day, trying to focus on my work, but something in my head would be calling out for me. In my shoes, I'd be standing here in front of you, but in my head, I'd be somewhere else, far, far away, in a way better place, my SillyLand. And every time I'd go there, my land would grow bigger than the time before. Or as Dr. Seuss says it in the Lorax, I would bigger it and bigger it. And every time I bigger it, a new place is born, with its own unique creatures, traditions, and culture. Until my land grew into a gigantic world full of great towns and cities. Slowly, a SillyLand language started to develop, until finally last year, my imaginary world got its own language that I called Araglish. As I mentioned earlier, in the SillyLand, I am the master. Nobody ever ruled before me, and no one ever even will do after me. Why? Because when I die, the entire SillyLand would just shut down with me. Don't worry, Mr. Handsome Young Man is still alive. See? But my aim in life is to become an actor, a director, and a movie maker. And my goal, if I ever could achieve my dream, would be to make at least one movie about the SillyLand. In this case, the SillyLand would outlive me. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Or as I like to say it in Araglish, سامحوا في ذروشهم كوحبكم جيوث الثيل.